The Art O'Neill Challenge is a 53-kilometre ultra-running and hiking event that takes place every January to commemorate the historic escape of 3 Irishmen from Dublin Castle. The event leaves Dublin Castle at midnight, follows roads for 30 kilometres before embarking on 23 kilometres of open mountain self-navigated fell running. Ireland's most accomplished ultra-runner, previous course record holder, Ian Keith, called the event one of Ireland's gnarliest ultra-marathons. This is the event I chose to be my first ultra. The secret isn't in your legs, but in your strength of mind. You need to go for a run when it is raining, windy, and snowing.
We out here, boys!
When lightning sets trees on fire when you pass them. When snowflakes or hailstones strike your legs and body in the storm and make you weep. And in order to keep running, you have to wipe away the tears to see the stones, walls, or sky. Make your rivals suffer. Kill them. Stop coughing, feeling cold. Not feeling your legs, feeling sick, vomiting, getting headaches, cuts, bleeding.
I hurt myself. Weather was awful.
Can you think of anything better?
Woo!
Okay, so it is 2 days before the Art O'Neill Challenge, the Art O'Neill Ultra. I'm just going through the route, making sure that it's all making sense. As my friend Rory would say, the hay is in the barn, the work has been done. But yeah, I'm going to continue cracking on with this now, and yeah, exciting times. Tomorrow's the game day. I've got all my stuff, or vast majority of my stuff laid out on this bed. I'm just going to talk to you about it briefly. Starting with the road section, I'm going to be using my Saucony Ride ISOs as the shoes. Really good shoe. Had them for about 800 kilometers now at this point, so I'm very used to how I feel in those shoes, and I feel like they'll be absolutely fine for it. The mountain section I'm doing in my Innovate X Talon 235G, so their new graphene sole X Talon, which I recently got. I've done one long run and then a couple of runs whenever I was in Sweden on the snow and ice. I did in those shoes. Really seem to be quite comfortable, and I think they'll be right at home on the side of the mountains. On my bottom, I'll be wearing a pair of Pro Touch running leggings. Yeah, as far as food, I'm going to have 5 sort of gel block tubes, the Cliff Bar caffeinated gels. Probably leave a soft flask, only run the first section with 1 soft flask is what I'm thinking, and then run the second section with both of them, I would say. So I have a Salewa Pedrock soft gel that I think I'm going to run the road section in, but it's a nice windproof warm mid layer. The rain jacket that I'm going to be using is actually on loan to me from Salewa. It's their Pedrock Gore-Tex Active shell. Packs incredibly small. It's my first time using it. Obviously it's just on loan to me. I just got given it 2 or 3 days ago. Thinking that I'm going to fit everything into my Salomon, what's it called? The Salomon Advanced Skin 5. So it's a 5-litre bag for obviously something where I'm going to be out for 6, 7, 8 hours. I'm going to pack everything up into it now and see how it goes. Obviously I won't need to pack everything into it because I'll be wearing things, but the luxury of having a drop bag halfway through means I'm not carrying all my food for the entire thing. I'm sort of amped. I'm a little bit sort of nervous, but quite psyched about it, to be honest. Like, looking forward to spending 6, 7, 8 hours running in Wicklow. It should be good fun. Okay, so good morning. I'm saying good morning, but it's after 12. Had a lovely lie-in this morning, again by design, trying to slowly sort of shift my sleep schedule in the way of staying up a little bit later. But today is the day, well, tomorrow will be the morning that I'll be running in, but midnight tonight is when I will leave Dublin Castle and run to Glenmalure. So really exciting. I'm just going to go for an easy 20-minute jog, a couple of strides at the end maybe, but just an easy 20-minute jog. I've got my bag loaded up with all the mandatory kit that's needed for the mountain section, so probably the heaviest it'll be. It's going to be cold tonight, wind chill of around -10, air temp of around -4 I think. So yeah, it's going to be really nippy. But yeah, time to go for a little bit of a jog. Well, hello. So it is, I suppose, the day of still the Art O'Neill challenge, the ultra race that I was taking part in. Left at midnight from Dublin Castle. 3 minutes. 4, 3, 2, 1, go! 2020 Art O'Neill from Dublin Castle. 53 kilometres of the mountain track challenge. Leaving Dublin Castle, I was probably in the middle of the pack until about the 10th kilometre, and then slowly started going up in position. And whenever I got to checkpoint 1, which is the end of the road, about 30 kilometres in, they were sort of rushing me because I don't think they thought that I realised, and I didn't realise that I was top 10 at that point. So, just out of checkpoint 1, apparently I'm in the top 10. That's all I know. Mountains to come. I then ran out of checkpoint 1, got about 200 metres down the road and realised that I had not brought any extra food for the mountain section, and I wasn't going to see my drop bag until the finish. But I did not let that sort of impact my headspace. I was sort of in a bit of a rush in the checkpoint. I think for the entire mountain section, all I ate was, I think, a single square of the Kendal mint cake. So I did not eat much at all. I fueled quite heavily on the road section, and that's probably, I attribute the fact that I was feeling so good to that. But I could have easily let that get into my mental and just sort of mess with me. But I was very conscious to not let that happen and to just keep trucking on. So I'm just on the fire road at the end of the first mountain section. A lot of fire road now until checkpoint 2, and then 2 little climbs, and then descend into Glenmalure. About 38 kilometres in, I think. Feeling so good. I drank about, I would say, 750 mils, between 750 mils and 800 mils of electrolyte drink, and then about 300 mils then of water, which doesn't really seem like a lot. For some people it might seem like quite a bit, but for 6 hours on the side of a hill whenever you're running. But the air was really dry, that's the other thing. All the moisture had been frozen out of the air because the air temperature was like -4. As far as like clothing and stuff like that, I was perfect. I did not put on anything or take off anything for the entire length of the event. What I was wearing was a sort of thick Odlo base layer, and then I also had this guy, my Salewa Pedrock. It's sort of a soft shell. It's not waterproof, sort of water resistant, but totally windproof layer. So that was perfect, really nice and light as well. So it was not too cumbersome, but added that little bit of extra warmth. Gloves wise, I had like neoprene gloves on, ran with my beanie on the entire time. I had a buff around my neck, but at no point did I bring it up over my nose or anything. Yes, then from checkpoint 2, up to 3 lakes, and then it was really nice and frozen on the top around the peat hags, so I was able to negotiate down onto table track, down past the river. Had to cross the river a good few times, so up to my shins in freezing cold water. I didn't really feel the cold as bad as I was kind of thought that I would though, so that was good. And then I got onto table track.
Okay, I cannot fucking believe this, but I'm on Table Track. It is 5:30 in the morning, and I just have been doing so much better than I could have imagined. Holy fuck.
Took a couple of wrong turns on Table Track just because I was so amped to be on Table Track. I couldn't quite believe that I was there. But like 50 meters down and 50 meters back, just for like silly errors. But at that point, I was relatively like tired. It was about 5:30 in the morning at that point, and I hadn't slept. And then finishing into Glenmalure was just savage. Going across the ford, just to the finish line, you're like splashing through icy cold water. It's just a bit dramatic, but it's class. So all in all, it just went really, really well for me. This is how I described it for Run the Line as well. I do sort of feel like I am witnessing and feeling what my body's feeling, but I'm not in my body. I sort of had this out-of-body experience, and I'm very, very happy. All the sort of training that I've done, all the other events that I've done sort of leading up to this has always been the focus. And now it all went according to plan. It all sort of paid off. I suppose I should tell you how I did. So I came 7th overall in my first ultra. Beautiful night, beautiful weather, beautiful event. Thank you Dublin Wicklow Mountain Rescue. Thank you Great Outdoors for sponsoring the event and getting me a place in the event. Wouldn't have been possible without you guys, so thank you very much to Great Outdoors. And yeah, I suppose I need to think about something else to train for now, but first ultra is done. I appreciate you. I'm feeling very sort of amped up and ready to go. You might not get it across because I am sleep deprived, but apart from that, yes, thanks for watching.